Hello, hello, welcome. We are diving into our business pillars. And before we get any deeper inside of Dominate, it is so important for you to identify your current business pillars. Now, notice I said current. What we're going to get into today is how your business has evolved over time. I've seen so many entrepreneurs have their business pillars, if you will, but they haven't grown with them. So let's dig in. Your business evolved over time as humans. We evolve and we heal and we learn new things. And if somebody knew you in your teenage years and then they met you in your 30s, there's usually a significant difference of who you were then versus who you are now. It's just part of our human experience. And normally we're congratulated, we're supported, and we're celebrated when we heal and evolve as humans. However, the biggest gap that I see entrepreneurs do is that they don't allow their businesses to evolve too. And what I mean by that is those of you who have been in business for 1 to 5 years, you may start to feel this stagnation. You may start to feel your audience fall off, or even just your own personal zest for your business is not as deep as it used to be. Raise your hand if you've ever been bored with your own content, if you've ever been bored with your own business. Now, normally, the reason this happens is because we haven't given our businesses the chance to evolve. So we spend all of this time doing personal development and healing and bettering ourselves and our families, but we don't give our businesses the space to evolve into what it deserves and desires to be. And this is where things start to fall flat. It feels harder to gain clients. It feels harder to create content because our business is desiring to go deeper, to be bigger, to have more impact, and we're still stuck in, the 2 years ago version of your business who's preaching about women empowerment, when really you've discovered you have so much more to say than that basic surface level, "Oh, I'm a boudoir photographer. I want to help women feel confident." So this is what we're going to dig into today, and I'm so super excited. So, what is a business pillar? What is it? Why are we talking about it? Why is it important? So, your business pillars are 1 to 3 core topics that your business is about. These pillars are, they could be topics, viewpoints, or passions that you could literally talk about in your sleep. So, I want you to envision a pillar on a big building. Think of a big historical building. You know how they have the big long columns and pillars? Your business is that big historical building, and your pillars are going to be what we are formatting today. And this is going to make creating content, marketing, attracting soulmate clients is going to make it so much easier. So these are things that you could literally talk about in your sleep. You know them like the back of your hand. It doesn't feel hard, and it's basically going to give you a marketing map for when you feel like you don't know what to say. So these are your business's purpose. It's your why, it's your passion. When you identify these, it's going to make everything in business just so much easier. So let's take the time today to identify what your pillars are, what they used to be, what they've grown into, or what you desire them to be. So right off the bat, you can pause this video as many times as you want and open a Google Doc. You are more than welcome to grab a pen and paper if you're more of a pen and paper type of person. And we're going to go through these questions and these prompts, and we're going to dig into, how has your business evolved since the last time you really sat down and thought about it? Because what normally happens is, we open our business, we're so excited, and then over the course of 6 months to a year, we either find success really quickly and we are in hustle mode, or we're just so busy trying to do the things that we forget to come back to our core mission, which is our business pillars. So, when was the last time you thought in depth about your business? And let's be radically honest with ourselves. There's absolutely no point in going through these trainings if we're not going to take the time to really dig into the questions and the content. So, when was the last time you thought in depth about your business? Would you say in the last 3 months? Yes or no? Would you say in the last 6 months? Have you taken the time to sit down and map out what your business is, who your business is for? Okay, what about the next or the last year? Have you sat down in the last 12 months to identify who you are serving, what your mission is, what your passion is? Okay, so rank yourself. Are you up to date within the last 3 months, the last 6 months, or the last year? And if you haven't sat down and dug deep into your business more than a year ago, that is okay. There's absolutely no shame. That's exactly why you're in here right now. So let's go ahead and do that today. Let's touch base back with our business. So identify when the last time you thought about your business was in depth, true, like heart, soul, passion, mission. And now what I want you to do is when you think about the last time you did that, has the direction of your business changed since you first opened it? So go back to baby entrepreneur you, those first couple of months in business, and the things you were talking about, the clients you were attracting, the marketing materials you were using. Has the direction of your business changed since that version of you? Think about it, mull that over. Maybe it's a yes, maybe it's a no. I doubt it's a no, though. You've probably changed somewhat, right? So identify what has changed. Are you more outspoken? Do you have a clearer vision for who you are serving? Has your life situation changed? Maybe your business is more important to you now. Maybe after you've worked with clients and you've heard their stories and you've got multiple sessions under your belt, maybe you have a clearer vision of why it is you do what you do. So, how has the business changed since you first opened it? Okay. So, now that you've kind of dug into that and you've looked at how, you as a person have changed, you've looked at how long it's been since you needed to sit down and get back in tune with your business. Let's discover our current pillars. So, like I said, this is the mission of your business. These do not need to be long winded. This is not a mission statement. Okay. We want this to be simple. It gets to be something that lights you up. We are not creating our business pillars from the energy of, oh, what do my clients want them to hear? This is another thing that people are doing backwards. We're creating our content based on what do you think your clients want to hear, when in reality, you are the professional. You guide them into what you want them to do, say, buy, think. So, this is where you get to step into your authoritative position as the entrepreneur and create your pillars based off what lights you up. Because if we're operating our businesses from the energy of we should say this, we should do that, we're going to get burnt out so quickly instead of keeping this momentum up and furthering our success as an entrepreneur. So, for example, when I started my business pillars were probably like women empowerment, feeling good in your body, and celebrating yourself. Very basic, very generic. And over time, my business pillars have deepened and they have evolved because of my own personal growth and development over the last 10 years. So, here are 3 examples of my current boudoir business pillars. Number 1, sexual liberation. So, allowing a safe space for women to tap back into their sexual desires. That's something that I openly talk about. It's something that I show in my work. We are much more like sensual, sexual versus like pretty fashion work. So that is a huge business pillar, and my clients echo that back to me, letting me know that after their session, they feel so seen, they feel so liberated, and it's not something that they get to experience on a daily basis in their life. And that is why my content connected with them. It was something that they were craving. Another example is taking up space. So, one of my business pillars is taking up space. I lead women into the spotlight. I allow them to use their voice. I allow them to be bold. In my group, in my audience, in my sessions, we work on not watering ourselves down. I am a very big advocate on taking up space and allowing themselves to be seen and really healing that part of them that was the little girl that, was told to sit down and be quiet. And it's honestly more of a revolution. And now that I've identified that taking up space is one of my business pillars, it is part of my mission, and boudoir photography is just the modality. Write that down. Boudoir photography is just your modality. It is not your mission in life. So let's dig into what is your purpose? Who are you here to serve? This is what your business pillar gets to uncover. And this is why it's so important to identify, because once we identify this, it makes creating content so much easier. So, can you imagine how generic my marketing was in 2015 when I was talking to women about feeling empowered, just like all of the other boudoir photographers in the country, versus now? I am so concrete in my pillars that I can talk on the very finesse sexual liberation, the taking up space, and number three, detaching from comparison. So, rewiring the comparison default that society has instilled into women. So, years ago, something that I would always see in my audience is, like, wow, I wish I looked as good as her. What's her diet? What's her workout plan? Oh, I could never wear that strappy outfit. And that was something that I recognized very early on, that the comparison game is massive. And it's my job as a boudoir photographer, using photography as my modality to help detach individuals from this comparison that has been shoved down our throats through media, etc. So take some time. You can pause this video right now. And what do you feel like are your business pillars? Maybe they're similar to mine. They're probably completely different because we are all our own unique businesses. So let me put some emphasis on this. As you're going through Dominate, as you're going through these trainings, copying my words or copying a member in the group, their business pillars or their verbiage is not going to get you the same results, because we are all our own unique entrepreneurs and we are all our own unique individuals who have different clients. So I really invite you to take the time to pause and write down and kind of riff through what your business pillars could do. So, as I mentioned earlier, there are normally 1 to 3. You don't want to get more than 3 because that's when it tends to get messy. That's when your message becomes unclear. By keeping it very simple and straightforward to 3 things that really truly light you up in this moment, it's going to help you finesse your messaging. So take some time, pause this video, and go ahead and work through your business pillars. Now that you've taken some time to pause and you've riffed through your 3 business pillars, it is time to master your message. We are going to allow your pillars to create a web of content ideas. So grab some pen and paper. This is the perfect time to get your ideas out and to give you a map of what the heck to talk about. So, those days where things are going so good in business, you've got inquiries flowing, you've got sessions, popping off here and there, you've got albums to order, but you want to show up for your audience. This is where, when you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say, you can go back to your web of your business pillars and just branch off and grab something from here. This is why it's so important to recognize and identify our business pillars. So, for example, sexual liberation. topic, why it's important for women to be in touch with their sexuality. And then that branches into allowing women to show multiple different personalities during their sessions. And then personal stories of sexual liberation. This is where I create content on the I go first vibe. So, like, walking them through the behind the scenes of, like, hey, this is my sexual liberation journey. Here's why it's important to me. How I can help you and what the transformation was. In the different types of content, if you scroll into the content module inside of Dominate, there's going to be contents on storytelling, authoritative, informational, and you can pair that with these business pillars, and you will have your marketing plan for the entire month. It'll be so easy. Another one you can see here, taking up space. So, creating a community for bold and vulnerable conversations, the side effects of your boldness after a boudoir session, leading the way for future women, how a boudoir session is powerful for one woman, and then that impacts her confidence in taking up space, even in her daily life. And now her daughter watches that, and her daughter can grow up with a mother who embodies boldness and confidence and isn't afraid to speak her mind. And do you see the ripple effect? How one business pillar gives you a million different post idea. And when you really realign to your current business pillars, you're going to feel more inspired to show up in business. You're going to feel more connected to your business. Therefore, you're going to want to show up. You're going to want to do the work. There's probably a reason why we felt so uninspired and we felt so out of touch, or it felt sticky and hard to get clients, is because we weren't connected to why the heck we were doing this in the first place. We weren't connected to the new evolved version of our businesses. Here's another example, the detaching from comparison, rewiring neutral beliefs of self, finding happiness in themselves, creating new habits and routines, even after their session. So, this was just a very itty bitty small version of your business pillar content map. If you have this on a full piece of paper, you could probably continue the arrows like 10 rows down. And this is what I invite you to do. So take some time today to really hash out and go through, do a giant brain dump with this business pillar web of all of the ideas and the missions and the reason of why you're doing this business and what you've learned over your time. And really lean into the energy that boudoir photography is just your modality. So let's figure out what your passion is, what your purpose is. And by mastering your 3 business pillars, this is going to make obtaining soulmate clients so much easier. And I recommend doing this about every 6 months, just tapping back in to your business pillars, giving yourself dedicated time to reassess and to figure out where you are in terms of, okay, what do I need to do? Am I still aligned with these? And what can I change? So I would do this about twice a year. Once you've taken time today, please go post in our manifestation portal in the Facebook group and let me know what your 3 business pillars are. Let me know how you're feeling after you've taken the dedicated time to do this, and share with the group what you discovered about your current business and how your pillars feel.